launch altogether of all the ships, all combined. You have to qualify to be a commander. He wants to know how many are in the pool to be commanders. I'm not sure exactly how many we do have for commanders, because the commanders are usually the military. They have to go through test pilot school. Even with all the experience they have, all the different airplanes and aircraft that they've flown, they have to still qualify for the shuttle just like they would on any plane. And to qualify for the shuttle is tough. You have to make a minimum of 800 landings in a shuttle type aircraft, shuttle training aircraft, and it's called a Grumman Gulfstream. And circle. Now, I don't think they can show this here, but as you're looking at this on the floor, can you see where his feet are? There's supposed to be 2 pads of gummy. Yeah, you can see it. See that little gray pad down there? That's gum paper. So when they climb on board, it pulls the dirt off their shoes. And then the technicians, you're going to notice when she or he or she, that's Charles Camargo there, right there. And when he climbs on that little little message there. But when he climbs on the diving board, they wipe his shoes off anyway, because when you get up in space, anything on the floor will float, and you don't want to breathe it in. So that's the reason why they have the gum pad down there on the floor. Charles Camargo has 7 patents. He's a very brilliant man. He knows a lot about the tile, by the way. That's why they're sending him up there with Andy Thomas. And they're going to be doing a lot of work up there on that tile. They're sending up with them segments of small pieces of tile. They're going to take them out in space on that first spacewalk on the 5th day. They're going to go out there and they're going to squirt some pink gum on it, or goo. I don't know the technical name for it, but they squirt that on the cracks and on the little dings and things, and then they bring it back into the orbit and they bring it home. And when they bring it home here, the engineers and technicians are going to subject it to a lot of heat, over 3,000 degrees of heat, just to see if that goo will stay clean to the surface to make sure it's going to work. They're going to put it on the reinforced carbon as well. So they got all kinds of samples that are taken up there with them to apply out in space in that environment, to see if it's going to clean okay, because they need to know. So far, it worked pretty good on Earth, but they want to know from space. I don't hear anything. We should have some sound. We'll try one more time. A little higher, maybe. Can you see who that is? I can't tell my little monitor here. It's hard to do. That's Eileen Collins, isn't it? That's Eileen. Yeah. They've got a little. You see how those pads fit right over their ears? I mean, they're snug against the ears, and the sound is right in your ear. Once they put the helmet on and everything, because when they start those engines, it's pretty much a roar, and it's pretty uncanny, folks. That roar gets loud. Matter of fact, when they sit in their seats and they start the engines about 6.6 seconds prior to starting the big boosters. Now I'm talking about the main engine, 3 main engines first. When they start the main engines, they're kind of sitting in the seat is horizontal, but it's a little bit tilted down. So when you're in it, your head's back just a little bit, and you're going to see that here. See her head right there? See how it is? Now, when the engines start, she's going to be going like this. Just shaking like, and then that's for 6 seconds. Then when they start those big boosters, you got 6 million pounds of thrust, like that, 3 out of each. And boy, you're just absolutely going through a lot of shake, rattle, and roll. And the noise at that point is absolutely incredible. And for 2 minutes, they have to go through that. And it's kind of scary if you don't know what you're doing. These folks have been trained. Then after they launch, they clear the tower. For the first about 20 miles up, that's when they get rid of the boosters. And at that point, when I say boosters, I'm talking about these 2 candlestick things right here. Stephen, there's 4, I don't know if they pinned this on there or not, but there's 4 separation motors right here. They're kind of angled in this direction, so they crisscross. And then 2 minutes after they launch, they ignite those 4 separation motors, and of course the fire goes up. But before that, you hear this bang, big explosion. What that is are the bolts exploding and they're coming apart. They do that just about the same time to start that fire, just a split-second difference. And then they're sitting in that seat and they hear that roar, then suddenly this bang, and then they see the fire shoot across the canopy there, and then the boosters go out like this. But the order just long, it's moving out. And even though these boosters have been separated, they're still going to go another 11 miles anyway, just by momentum. But they're lucky to dust. But if you don't know what's going on and you're an astronaut and you're not trained to hear that bang, that sound, and see the fire, you think you just exploded. And you know, when something like Challenger happened, something like that, you got to know what you're doing. So they trained them to be ready for something like that. They're setting them inside the seats now. They have to climb them up into the seats, and they're on their backs. And you got to remember, folks, this morning they had steak and eggs for breakfast, and they got them up at 12:30 in the morning, 12:38 in the morning, and to get ready to go out to the pad. By 5:15, they were briefed on. 5 o'clock, they were briefed on the roll boards, things like that. But when they took them out to the pad, they took them out to the pad 2 hours before they're going to be launched. And when they had their breakfast, they had 5 or 6 cups of coffee. So they're laying on their backs with about 5 or 6 cups of coffee in your stomach, folks. And you could hear something like this, Houston, I got a problem. But you're not going to hear that because they were UCDs. And a UCD is a urinary collection device. So, you know, they wear those until they get up to the space station, then they can take them off. So in the space station, they have a regular toilet, by the way. I love to watch them work, and those technicians do a good job helping these folks. Now let me show you, would you like to see the crew on real fast and come back to this or not? It's up to you folks. Would you? Okay. You don't mind, do you? Okay. Can you see that okay, folks? Can you see how many columns are on the right-hand side? Here's this. Right there. She's the commander. And there's Jim Kelly that you just saw just a second ago. Does anybody know who that is? He is the #1 mission spacist. This is his first time up. He's from Japan. His name is Soichi Noguchi. That's who that is. And that guy over there is from Sacramento, California. Does anybody know who he is? Anybody from California? Steve Robinson. This will be his 3rd time up, and he's going to be doing spacewalks with Soichi Noguchi. And anybody here from Australia? Who's that guy right there? Andy Thomas, isn't it? From Australia, from Adelaide, Australia. And that little young lady right there, she's from Jacksonville, Florida. Is that anybody from Jacksonville? And that's Wendy Lawrence. And there's Charles Camarda from Queens, New York. That's our crew, folks. You like our crew? That's them. The pilot, now remember, when we say pilot, he's the co-pilot. The commander's the pilot. Right there, that's her. That's the commander, she's the pilot, and there's the co-pilot or the pilot.
This is where the two would sit at the control panels during launch, landing, and special maneuvers. The commander would sit in the left-hand chair, and the pilot would sit to his right.
Energy, ground track, and nav are all go.
All switches on Explorer's panels are in the exact configuration to reflect the recent landing. The Space Shuttle re-enters the atmosphere at approximately 17,000 miles per hour. It reduces its speed in a series of S-turns and glides toward the Earth.
Or desire to fly into space, but the awareness of the risk will be more, deep. I have more knowledge of the shuttle systems. I'm more aware of the risk involved, and that actually makes me a better operator of the space shuttle. I really hope that we continue our space development outside the low Earth orbit, back to the moon, go to Mars, and expand our human capabilities. And I'm pretty sure we can do if we continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm round of applause for astronaut Charlie Walker.
Come on.
Okay, well, we're coming back that way toward you two. All right.
Computers to let it do all the work. You're talking about 88,000 different commands going on in a minute. So let's let the computers do that work. Fire the engines, fire the boosters, and that's all it takes. It happens pretty quick. Y'all want to see a launch? We can do a launch. We'll give you an idea what it's going to look like. The straight hydrogen gas. Always ignite the engines first, then the boosters. Before you know it, it's clearing the tower. Mission Control is just taken over. Everybody says, why can't you set the space shuttle up where it does that roll thing on the pad like that? You can't. It has to set on there vertically. It has to clear the towers first, and then it gets up away from the towers and goes to proper position of rolling. That's what it's doing. Proper direction of the flight when it rolls. She flies faster and more aerodynamically on the back of the orbiter, but it has all to do with the direction itself. Two solid rocket boosters have just taken 4.5 million pounds off the launch area, giving us a kick in the pants to get to space. We're going to go almost at 3,500 miles an hour in that first couple of minutes. It's a real bumpy ride right now because the boosters are so powerful. But look, with the maximum speed, they will finally reach in 8.5 minutes of 17,500 miles an hour, 28,150 kilometers per hour. 8.5 minutes later. So you're moving pretty fast. You're only pulling up 3G, up and 2.5 coming in. Mission to space at Epcot. Actually been toned down. That's all that they're doing. So it does give you a true feeling going to space. How do I know that for sure? Story Musgrave was an astronaut, a former shuttle astronaut that helped develop that ride. He's a 6-time shuttle astronaut and a man who has 6 PhDs, all earned. He's a neurosurgeon too. He used to go do surgery on the weekends when he wasn't playing astronaut during the week of Monday through Friday. But you saw the flame off those boosters? It's big, it's bright, it's powerful. Look at the 3 main engines right now. Don't they look like 3 bright lights? So different between a liquid and a solid fuel. There she goes. 2 synchronized swimmers have just come off. That is really what has just happened. They're still burning. They're going to start falling.
At what height is that at?
That's about 29 miles up, 47 kilometers. Just a little difference for you here is just separation. You see some of the ice. It's pretty cold too when you're going up. So then you're changing altitude. See there, so you can see the curvature of the Earth already. So those boosters are going to fall back. At a certain point, nose cap comes off, parachutes are going to come out and drop them into the Atlantic Ocean. The 2 ships are called Liberty Star and Freedom Star. They're the ones that pick them up out of the Atlantic Ocean. They're already in place, and right now, where are they sitting? Right off the coast of Jacksonville, because that is the direction of the flight, and that's where the boosters will come up. Don't worry, there's no ships in that area. They know exactly where and when these boosters are going to come down. They do have tracking devices on them. They stay about 5 miles from actual impact. Easy. And then they're going to go on up. They're going to reel in 5 parachutes. And once they get the parachutes off of the boosters themselves, they'll actually send the dive team about 100 feet down into the water. They put a big plug on the base of the booster. It will actually force the rest of the water out, fill it completely with air, and before you know it, they're bringing the booster back. They actually bring the booster to the side of the ship and tow it back to Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. So boosters can be recovered, orbiters recovered, external tank, no, never comes home. Where if there's a no-go today, we have a launch window for every single day till the 31st. Yes, we have launch time set up all the way to the end of the month. So, I have to check the schedule, but it usually moves about 30 minutes, 32 minutes earlier. Earlier, keeps going earlier. Go ahead. What is this big orange object here? We call this ET for short. This is the external fuel tank. And really this tank is aluminum alloy and lithium on the inside of it. The outside of that is synthetic cork and a spray-on insulation on the outside. And that's it. And there's 2 inner tanks on the inside that hold the oxygen and the hydrogen. And they actually, when they added the lithium, it dropped off 8,000 pounds from the original tanks. That's what they did.
But does it come off the spaceship?
It will come off the orbiter at about a set of sloping wires. There's 7 of them. And that's the emergency egress off there. It's not a clip on and lie down like a James Bond. There's a basket you actually get into and sit in it backwards and ride down to the ground in about 30 seconds. What's off to the side up here is a bunker. person in, gets into the driver's seat. Break through the fence and go to a helicopter pad. I can tell you the commander is not fighting to get into that seat. They're going to probably steal all the way to the vehicle somewhere. They know that. So they know the risks they're taking right now.
The floating space aboard Discovery is relatively roomy and comfortable compared to the earlier manned spacecraft.
We usually don't take that off.
The outer watch, the acceleration is relatively mild compared to the earlier flights. The Saturn V reached about 7 G, whereas the Space Shuttle was launched and landed 43 G. 3 G.
Is that flight kind of thing?
We are now just 9 minutes away from launching Space Shuttle Discovery. Mission to the International Space Station. Countdown ahead. Control that the launch frequency flying room. Here's a quick video of good to come to witness today's launch. Along with the last guest and astronaut family. Coming up now, the final program pre-launch countdown are going to be put on Onboard Discovery, and the pilot is going to activate switches to connect the fuel cell essential buttons. Fuel cells connected to the motor. The motor access on.
The guy in the blue jumpsuit was an astronaut. They always wear blue jumpsuits.
It's time for me to return to flight. Our hopes and prayers ride with you. Godspeed, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Now, was ordered attention Dr. Mark Capsule, the rotating service structure can be moved back into position very quickly to the emergency in about 28 seconds. The auxiliary power unit starter for the
Flying around the pad. It's not a voice level on the pad. It's about 7 to 10 seconds. Just don't worry.
The power unit restart procedure can be ordered by Congressman Kelly. Will actually start those at T-minus 5 minutes in the county. By putting switches in the cockpit. Restart on.
Once they come back, it's only a day or two.
Governor Jeb Bush.
They don't get to fly their own planes. They fly their own T-38 jets over. They did the second time. The first time they did it, they came on one plane together because of Hurricane Dennis. This time they flew their own planes back. So nobody's allowed to fly home. They get to be the passenger. They don't fly home. Usually they go home with their families the next day when they get back.
APU start now.
I expect you to be here too. This is a big deal.
Yeah, go for order APU start.
We kind of expect this some kind of presidential appearance.
Yeah, and CDR APU bigger heaters.
We really did kind of, that was, we kind of heard it, we weren't sure for something. They were gonna, somebody was gonna show up, but I'm glad she came.
So, manage your fuel out here, you can turn it off.
Yes.
And she's giving first sequence.
Go, we got about 4 minutes to go.
Go outside.
It's
Nice inside the air conditioning, but we didn't come here for this. We came here to be out there.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo vete por allá?
You can't see if you're going to share. ¿Te dije esa yo?
Ya. Martín. ¿Dónde está el Martín? Estaba acá.
Adentro, dice que sale al tiro. ¿Qué? ¿Va a haber más
Está con el
adelante?
Martín. No está con el Martín.
Esto es tuyo, ¿no hay Martín?
No te vuelvas a ir. Yo le apunté y paso y tú.
Acá también se
blue man. Behind that cloud, you see, you can have high, look, way up high above the top of the cloud right there. Now way up there. Here's the sound. Okay, look above the top of the cloud, look way up in the blue. There it goes. Barely see it now.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Hey, let's go back.
Okay, into the building. Look at the screen.
Let's go back on the screen. Get the book. Get the book. Tommy, get the chair.
That's the camera on the booster. On the tank. Okay? Yes.
Did any of them come off yet?
About 5 minutes left until cutoff of Discovery 39 inches.
5 minutes until the booster comes apart, separated.
Is the solids fall off? Excuse me? Did the two solids fall off yet?
Yes, the solids were the first ones. 2 minutes into that flight.
Discovery's altitude now 59 miles. Speed 5,500 miles per hour. Discovery Houston. Negative return. Discovery gained too much speed and altitude to return to the landing at the Kennedy Space Center that were required. All systems remain go for Discovery. Just over 4 minutes to cut off those main engines. During that time, Discovery will want to triple its current speed to reach the 17,400 miles per hour required to achieve Earth orbit.
Negative return means that they can't come back to Kennedy Space Center on an emergency landing. They have to go to an alternative site. The first alternative site they have is California, right?
Discovery 200 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center now, altitude 65 miles, speed 6,700 miles per
Yeah, there
hour.
are 2 sites in France, there's 2 sites in Spain, Zaragoza and Milan, and California, I believe. And White Sands as well in New Mexico. Good, yeah.
Discovery needs it. To ATL. Discovery is called to ATL. The colony is still in good shape. The plans that space over only 2 individuals Discovery into the continued operate level full throttle. Speed now 8,000 miles per hour. Altitude 67 miles, 300 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center.
Discovery Houston, single engine up 3.
Discovery can perform a transatlantic journey on only one engine for flight. All continue to go well. Altitude 67 miles, 350 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center. Discovery speed now 9,200 miles per hour. Discovery is rolling to a heads-up position now to assist its performance as it finishes its ascent to orbit.
Discovery Houston, prep to Nico and single engine Zaragoza 104.
Nico, it's time.
The call that Discovery could reach its planned orbit on only 2 engines of these, also continue to operate while at full throttle. Just under 2 minutes to cut off the main engines now.
Discovery Houston, we see a nominal shutdown plan. You will be go for the flight deck and go for the pitch maneuver.
Good job. About a minute and a half to cut off the main engines for the call, confirming that the crew is go to do a flight deck maneuver after jettison of the external tank to clear.
Discovery Houston, single engine prep 104.
Flight deck maneuver to clear the tank and also then a pitch maneuver to provide handheld photography by the crew through the windows of the vehicle of the external tank after its jettison. 1 minute to cut off the main engines now. Discovery speed 13,300 miles per hour. Altitude 65 miles. 615 miles from the Kennedy Space Center. Discovery's readings are now beginning to throttle back to prevent the spacecraft from experiencing forces in excess of 3 times that of Earth's gravity as it continues to accelerate. Speed now 14,800 miles per hour. Altitude 63 miles. 700 miles northeast of the Kennedy Space Center. 30 seconds to cut off the main engine. Discovery speed now 16,000 miles per hour. Standing by for cutoff. Discovery's 3 main engines. Officer confirms main engine cut for Discovery. Standing by now for jettison of the external fuel tank. Pitching it up to a point where the overhead windows of Discovery will be faced toward the tank as it begins to fall away. That allowing mission specialist Luigi Noguchi and from the mid-deck, Andy Thomas, to use handheld and video photography to inspect the tank. Photography will be transmitted down to the ground on day 3 of the mission. Collins will pitch the vehicle up and over to the point that we're going to toward the tank. Control Noguchi celebrated the center of the windows and ready for photography.
top. It's all gonna be answered.
Commander Alan Collins controlling the vehicle as it pitches up is in a maneuver that provides photography of the external tank from a distance much closer than the previous missions. Photography maneuver of this type has been done on past shuttle flights. This maneuver, however, will result in photography of the tank from a distance of about 1,500 feet between it and the shuttle, versus previous maneuvers done somewhat a few minutes later after tests of the tank, which resulted in photography at a distance of about 4,400 feet between the shuttle and the tank. That's a closer distance allows for a much better resolution of the imagery that's being taken by the crew and transmitted down to the ground for analysis of design changes made to the tank for the shuttle to return to flight.
Of course, Jeffrey's here.
Were given to the station crew, and they actually were able to watch and live some videos that come from us this morning on board the station and in front of the space shuttle room Only control is not required. We'll take the remainder of the steps on 3-4 in sequence. You'll be go for us 105 when you get there. Regarding the O2 burn, you will be 2 inches.
And from Sarasota, we actually
Versus the onboard target, your take will be 38:00. Okay. Watching replays from the cameras that recorded views covering launch this morning. An altitude of 111 miles and about 7.5 minutes. That to raise the international back with a reminder if you need it. And while I got you, we'd like you to check the flight control tower.
She made it through.
Onboard engine control. And they can go to base 3 Onboard discovery engine control, counting down forward maneuvering system engine firing by both engine firing and the discovery. They'll fire for about a minute and 5 seconds. That starts at about 10 a.m. Central Time. The result will increase discovery speed by about 58 miles per hour, but boost the low point of discovery. Again, that brings switches that will close the external tank doors, doors that cover series of flying to rendezvous with the International Space Station. About 8 minutes away from that, engine firing by both full and rebreak system engines. We fly for about a minute and 5 seconds. Discovery's altitude currently 136 statute miles. As it's above the eastern Mediterranean Sea.
television that they were saying that the drivers go in and
until just before 3 p.m. Central Time this afternoon, and another engine firing will be performed. That's to further raise.
oh man!
That's to every PM for their first night, and we'll continue on replays. From the Kennedy Space Center, Florida,
I don't think they've ever had that.
And we are about 45 minutes to hand over to Katy. Let's see.
Take some pictures.
That's a call from Commander Collins that the crew still has a visual of the external fuel tank as it descends away from Discovery. Discovery and the tank both moving into nightfall now. The sun will rise and set for Discovery every 45 minutes as it circles the Earth. Discovery just about to move off the coast of Saudi Arabia above the Indian Ocean.
Just about night.
Discovery's altitude now about 142 statute miles as it moves out above the Indian Ocean. 2.5 minutes away from an orbital rebreak system in the sun. Two engines on the other side of the tail of Discovery that will raise its current orbit, raising the low point, putting it into an orbit of about 140 statute miles by 98 statute miles when the engine firing is completed. Discovery Houston, we're back with you on Z and see you in a good 6 from 2. Just under 30 seconds away now from engine time by Discovery 2 open metering system engine. Up for 1 minute 5 seconds. Raising the low point of Discovery's orbit from 36 statute miles to an altitude of about 98 statute miles. Discovery over the nighttime Indian Ocean. Report the 2 open system engines are fine. All engines in about a minute 5 seconds on the side. Complete. Discovery now is enrolled with a high point of 142 statute miles, a low point of 98 statute miles. Closing in